Hey, we're back. It's another Age of Empires 4 replay. This time we're on High View, and it's me as the Opposite Dynasty versus AoE Smurf 9013 playing as the Rus. And let me tell you, there is nothing more scary, more intimidating than when someone just throws Smurf into their name. You're immediately just like, oh, is this not their main account? Is this a player good enough to want a Smurf account? Why would you even want a Smurf account in a game that doesn't have ranked gameplay? I had a lot of questions starting this game, but I'm not feeling so good going up against someone with Smurf in their name. We're up against the Rus, haven't gone up against a Rus opponent in a while. So we're taking out all these huntable deer, and whenever we see a wolf, we're going to aggro it and pull it into the town center. Whatever we can to deny our opponent that bounty and that free gold that they get whenever they kill animals. I don't particularly have a game plan against the Rus, and I think the Rus are a very strong civilization on this map. It's a map where you want lots of scouts to deal with the wide and just these huge swaths of stealth forests like here. It looks okay with the scouts going through it, but the moment you send a unit other than a scout through there, they just don't see anything. You really need better, you really need good visibility on this map. I'm gonna go for my standard build, gonna get the culture wing, preservation of knowledge, and then go to professional scouts. And I think the professional scouts here is not an awful idea, considering that, oh, looks like there was a wolf there. Considering that I'm up against the Rus, it'd be nice to deny a lot of the deer on the map. I mean, he's going to be going professional scouts as well, almost guaranteed. Opponent reaches the feudal age, I hit the feudal age. We're just kind of scouting around, trying to find out what's on the map. Find these two relics up here along with this sacred site. Makes me think that that could be a good option for defending and trying to secure this upper left corner. I mean, it's got deer, it's got gold, it's got berries. And with these trees here, I could probably put down a wall, hold the area pretty well. Quick scout of my opponent's base, pretty standard opener from the Rus. A wooden fortress, which will increase the wood that's dropped off at the lumber camp. Hunting cabin to generate gold and also to serve as a mill. Basically, you can drop food off there, and really you're just getting economic upgrades from it. We also spotted a archery range in the back. When I saw that, I realized that I should probably get down a stables. I think that'll be my next building here, but more importantly, I want to get a outpost up near my gold because I just do not want to. I just don't want archers harassing my gold over here. And it's nice to have this visibility up front. You can see the outpost gives a lot of vision here. It's nice being able to see a little bit at what's coming my way. Now I'm seeing my opponent grab up a lot of these deer. I'm trying to find some of the carcasses that are around here, but he's going to scare me off with these archers, so I'm just going to ditch the carcass and run. Also going to go for some stone here. I'm getting the specialized pick upgrade. We're dropping off these deer carcasses near my base. It's good to grab these up. I don't want my opponent grabbing them. And we're going to kind of go for a combined Castle Age and expansion. If I see a lot of enemy units coming from my opponent, then I can kind of abandon the idea of going to the next age and use the wood to put down outposts, use the stone to make spring Alden placements. And it's a pretty passive beginning of the game. Not sure to whose advantage that is. Honestly, I think my opponent is likely getting an advantage here. I personally like to do this kind of somewhat safe strategy, this somewhat safe opener when my opponent might want to punish the Abbasid for their early game. The idea is they commit some troops because they think I'm fast expanding. Oh, and I see a scout here trying to haul away a carcass. We're going to hunt him down with my units. Hopefully this camel archer, rest of my archers can snipe him down. He should really drop the carcass and run. Oh, there we go. And we encounter his units. A lot of archers and a few knights along with a horseman and a scout. I'm going to try to retreat my archers back. Really should retreat these villagers. They're about to get attacked by, yeah, all these archers. Oh, I needed to retreat these. That's 3 villagers down right there. Fortunately, I've put my other villagers back in, and we are at least getting down a second town center, but that's about 4 villagers lost right there already. I'm in this awkward position where I'm going to the next age. I've got my second town center built, so I've just consumed all of my resources. I'm terrified that I'm about to get attacked by just a huge unstoppable force. Up here, I've got my scout checking out what's going on at his base, seeing more and more archers being sent across the map. I'm also seeing an exposed gold mine here. Would love to send some units to harass that, maybe just a few archers and this camel archer. He's coming in again with his units. I'm going to pull this villager back, but no, she's not going to make it out. Looks like we didn't quite finish off that side there. We're losing more villagers. Really need to keep producing from here. He's dealing good economic damage. I'm hoping that the safety of these deer carcasses will allow me to keep most of my villagers. And I really need to keep producing villagers. It's a shame that I'm not producing them right now. This is my advantage, having 2 town centers. I really need to get those down. Making it to the Castle Age, I can start producing units, although I'm not sure if I need to be spending my resources on these units. I know my opponent had a large force that was rather intimidating. He's not going to be able to do much damage from here on out. We've still got the deer carcasses. We've still got villagers chopping. My economy's still looking good, but the fact that I'm not producing villagers, this is a real problem. I cannot believe I've gone this long without producing villagers. We've got to get more out. It is good that I'm harassing over here. Looks like we're getting some villager kills on his gold. We see the Abbey of the Trinity. That means he's going to be getting these relics off the map pretty quickly. Knowing that he's going into the next age, I likely need to get down a monastery of my own. There's not much my Castle Age units can do against his forces. And it looks like I'm going to lose my army here in the middle. Would really like to keep them alive. But unfortunately, looks like his archer ball is just going to pick some of them up. I'm sure his main army is going to arrive and just smash these units. Could easily just get these units into a stealth forest and get them back home. It was pretty good that we traded, but unfortunately, we're going to lose them. When I'm seeing knights and lots of archers, I'm thinking I'm going to need mangonels and outposts. Would really like to see me get down more outposts because archers, they're not going to be able to do any damage to buildings. So if I can put down some walls and maybe some outposts, I think we should be good. I'd also like to see myself getting horsemen, maybe this veterancy upgrade for the horsemen. But it was pretty insane how long it took me to keep producing villagers. I mean, we must have been off of villagers. I have only 39. I should be way higher than that. Even though, yeah, I suffered some village losses, it was more just the fact that I wasn't producing them. Yeah, once again, town center is idle. Cannot be having that happen. Looks like I'm sending units to guard some of these relics. But it's hard to do it when there's absolutely no visibility. I mean, I have to have them basically standing right on top of them. Finding his units here. Pretty impressed that he could find my units there. They must have just happened to run on top of each other. Would love to see... Oh, don't want to lose those villagers. Nice, glad I retreated them. Opponent's going for this sacred site? No. Running past, grabbing this relic back here. Good to see the spearmen getting in there. Crossbowmen are doing good work against these early knights. As you can see, the early knights aren't that intimidating. It's more this archer ball. Oof. Looks like we lost some over here. I'm sending out my own imams out on the map to grab up relics. Trying to defend these. I can see my opponent putting down this wooden fortress forward. That's a really good idea. It's giving him good vision. I would have loved to see myself just build more of these outposts. Until he brings siege units onto the field, they're going to be really good. And look at my opponent's food. That is insane. The fact that he has so much more income than me, even though I have the double TCs, the 2 town centers, that's really sad. That means I just was not producing villagers. I'm probably way behind in terms of population. A little bit quiet here. Speed things up a little bit. Okay, finding a few of his, yep, warrior monk. That's a decent amount of gold right there. I'm also sending knights in to kind of check around his base to see if there's any exposed resource patches that we can take out. And he's got, lots of these scouts moving around. That's great. Still seeing just tons of archers. And they're already veteran archers. He clearly just went for sort of a 1-unit composition and then got the veterancy for them. Again, my counters are probably man-at-arms, just a huge mass of man-at-arms. I really should not be making these spearmen, because we haven't seen a huge commitment from him for knights. And I don't really need these camel archers, but yeah, these mangonels are definitely a good option. This exposed villager, would love to see maybe my knight and some camel archers go take care of that. Looks like my imam is making it back with the relic, although the way he's walking seems kind of dangerous. Would like to see him... I suspect that villager is building even more outposts or wooden fortresses. Kind of curious about my opponent's vision. Might swap over for a moment here. Oh, one of his forces sees. Yep. Now I'm losing my my imam right there. He immediately grabs it with his own warrior monk. I'm gonna briefly switch vision here. I want to see slightly better vision over here. A lot of the map still in the dark, but with these scouts around here, they really do provide good vision. It's dangerous to just walk through these stealth forests without anything. That's why he's keeping these scouts with his army. You can see still a huge archer ball. That's a huge amount of archers. I don't think this one mangonel is going to do it. I'm going to try and reposition a little bit closer to my outposts, and I'm going to throw down the springald emplacements on these. Still gathering up stone. case we need to make stone walls or we need to continue to get spring emplacements. I'd love to see another outpost put down. I like seeing these walls being put down. That's great. We've secured the sacred site. That's good. A little bit of a visual bug here on the mini-map. That is, in fact, in my control, so I'm getting money from it. But look at the income. I should be way ahead by now. Instead, I'm just maybe a tiny bit ahead or staying in pace. And look at this. My town center is still not producing villagers, even though they are cheaper. And I could easily have them either chop wood or build up this farm economy. Here comes his army. It's a lot of scouts here. He's going to use these scouts and these early knights to take out my mangonel. And then the archers are going to sweep in. That's a good mangonel shot. Glad to see that. If I had 2 more mangonels, could have done a lot of work here. Glad I'm retreating the villagers. Definitely need to retreat these as well. You can see the spearmen are doing good work against the knights and the scouts, of course. But the moment the archer ball moves into position, we just start losing everything. There go all of the villagers. I probably lost 5, 6, maybe 7, including all these over here. I mean, it's just a huge mass of archers. It's great that the spring ults are here. I mean, we're really dealing damage to his archer ball with these 2 outposts. Would have loved to see the fortify outpost. That probably would have been a great upgrade here on the front lines, because he's losing lots of units to these, but he is able to deal damage to it. If I can get rid of the knight and these man-at-arms, that'd be great. But you can see it, where the spring ult is really picking off units. Every time it fires, you're taking a unit down or taking it to half health. Losing more villagers here. We're definitely reducing the size of his army, but the real unfortunate part is that I only got to 730 stone. If I had just gotten a little bit more, we could have put down a keep here, try and secure the front side. And now I'm seeing mangonels of his own coming out. Fortunately, on the other side of this, we harassed his gold. Dealt good damage. We're even trying to get a battering ram up, but that's going to take a long time. You can see his siege workshop is just putting out mangonels. In fact, I think we did some damage to the mangonel. I saw an injured mangonel over here. I wonder if my units found it and started attacking it a little bit. Crossbowmen getting shots in on all these man-at-arms. That's great. Too bad the mangonel's going to clean them up. He's starting to send small forces around. This is when I need to maybe extend the wall or, again, get more of a more outposts up. And really got to get that fortify outpost upgrade. That would have been great. Should be engaging with this mangonel as much as I can. I can just start taking shots. Looks like my knight is trying to defend against that warrior monk, but didn't quite get there. At this point, I'm not feeling very good. I've lost a lot of the map to my opponent. I just cannot seem to deal with this archer ball. And with my lack of villager production early on, I'm just really behind economically. Granted, the income per minute is a lot closer than it was earlier. Maybe he's done with his huntable meat, although he could switch over to the boars. Would like to see him switch over to boars. But now I'm just trying to sort of bait his army in a little bit. But gosh, look at his own mangonels, really strong. And he's managed to build up more of his cavalry. At this point, I just don't have an army to defend against this. Would really like to have seen more stone and would have loved to see the fortify outpost come in. Thinking I can send my lancers around, but my opponent has really, I mean, on top of all of these archers, you can see he's mixing in crossbowmen on the back. So the lancers aren't going to be able to do the damage they want. Really going to need spring ults to take out the mangonels. And he's switching them over to these outposts. It feels good landing the mangonel shots on this ball. Hopefully this mangonel can deliver a good shot here. Well, that's pretty good. But the moment those cavalry come in, it's a real big issue. I can use this villager to repair the mangonel. That feels pretty good. And I can send in my units to try and defend the mangonel. And at least the Springalds still doing work, taking shots at this man-at-arms. Really need this mangonel firing. My units are just kind of getting discombobulated over here. And it looks like he wants to send his warrior monk in. I think he's just going to go straight for the sacred site. Looks like it. Back here, my mangonel's still trying to take shots. He's really massing up his units. We're going in. We're trying to get the mangonels down. We can focus it a little bit with my cavalry and my man-at-arms, so that's pretty good. Glad we're getting those kills here. But there's a lot of rams starting to come out from my opponent. And I'm really just hitting the bottom of my resources. I just cannot seem to produce enough. I've hit a cap on food because, or population because of losing those houses back here. And now he's just coming straight in for the House of Wisdom. Good shots from these mangonels. I really want to keep making these. Tempting to just have a siege workshop pumping them out, or having my units build them. Personally, I really liked my opponent's strategy, kind of just an archer ball. Aggressively use the food and wood that the roosts can generate from the deer carcasses and the improved lumber camp collection. I think in the future, maybe I'll put more archers into my compositions, and I'll definitely focus on getting mangonels when I see them, or when I'm up against archer balls. And maybe more stables. Would like to see some horsemen and some knights. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Catch you next time.